Some disappearances don't begin with panic. They begin quietly, almost politely, with paperwork, routine, and silence. Nothing dramatic happens at first. No alarms, no sudden realization, just the slow awareness that something ordinary has stopped. This is the story of a woman who vanished before most people even knew she was missing. Welcome back to Cursed Whispers. She was in her early 30s, lived alone, and followed a routine so predictable that neighbors barely noticed her anymore. Lights on at the same time every evening, curtains drawn the same way, trash taken out on the same day each week. Her house was old, built long before modern planning, with narrow hallways, uneven floors, and rooms that had been repurposed again and again over decades. People like that don't disappear suddenly, and that's why no one worried at first. When she didn't arrive at work that morning, coworkers assumed she was sick or running late. Hours passed. Messages went unanswered. Calls went to voicemail. By evening, concern finally replaced assumption. Police entered the house that night. Everything felt paused, not abandoned. Her phone was still on the table, screen dark but charged. Her keys were inside. Her bag hadn't moved. The door was locked. Nothing suggested she had packed or prepared to leave. There were no signs of forced entry, no broken glass, no overturned furniture, no marks of a struggle. To the public, the explanation was simple: a voluntary disappearance. Adults leave sometimes, lives change. Internally, the case was treated very differently. Before her name appeared on any official missing persons bulletin, investigators requested documents that had nothing to do with her personal life. They didn't ask about friends, relationships, or recent behavior. They asked for property records. Old ones. Architectural plans drawn decades earlier, records of renovations that had never been properly documented. They examined walls, foundations, sealed spaces, and areas that didn't appear on newer maps. Neighbors later described officers measuring distances inside the house, counting steps between rooms, and examining door frames. They focused on structural elements, not personal belongings. It didn't resemble a search for a missing person. It resembled an inspection. Within days, the investigation quietly shifted direction. A second address was added to the file, another old house several kilometers away. No public announcement explained why, no connection was acknowledged, but that second house had appeared before. Years earlier, it was linked to another disappearance, different victim, different time, same silence afterward. A person gone, a house left standing, files marked inactive but never closed. Internally, the cases were linked. Publicly, they never were. The woman was never declared deceased. No body was found. No official conclusion reached. Yet her name slowly disappeared from active missing persons listings. Journalists who later requested information were told the case was under ongoing review, a review that never seemed to end. A former analyst later described the logic behind it. They weren't trying to locate her anymore. They were confirming something, a consistency, a repetition. Because in cases like this, disappearance isn't treated as the event, it's treated as a signal. The house remains untouched to this day. No sale, no renovation, no demolition. Just occasional visits, quiet checks, and no explanations offered to anyone outside the file. And if you've been listening closely since the beginning of this season, you already understand why this matters. The disappearances, the murders, the delayed investigations, they aren't random, they form a sequence. And in the final story, you'll learn what that sequence was leading toward. Not a person, not a confession, but a method hidden in plain sight.